What's up? I'm Ayla.
Hi, I'm Beth Ann.
And this is Let's Talk BL, a Boys Love podcast.
Welcome back. It's Series Sunday, the day of the week that we talk all about one series and one series only. And can you guess what we are talking about today?
It's Halloween too, by the way. It's Halloween today. So
Nice.
Clearly, like next level with the series Sunday. If you are listening to this and you're not watching the video, I do recommend taking a quick peek. I'm not saying you have to watch the whole episode via video, but like we got a little festive. So today we're talking about He's Coming to Me.
He's Coming to Me. Ghost Singto. Truly the ghost that set the bar for all other ghost BL boys.
Ghost Singto is like the OG, and I think about him a lot, and I just love him so much.
Amazing. Okay, let's get into the facts before we talk about this show. So this show came out in 2019. It's GMM TV. It's on YouTube, of course, which we love. It's 8 episodes, and also, fun fact, it's directed by Off, which directed Tale of a Thousand Stars and Together and all the good stuff that comes out of GMM TV that we love. And so the cast, as we've said, Singto as P-Med and Ohm Pawat as Thun.
Thun, I think. Thun, yeah.
That's right. There's no TH. We got to work on that. My bad. Okay, you got the synopsis?
Yeah, let's do this synopsis, one of my favorite parts, always.
Yes.
So, on his birthday, Med, a kind heir to a rich family, dies mysteriously and becomes a ghost. For 20 years, he waits in the graveyard for someone to visit so that he's able to reincarnate. However, his plan for reincarnation changes completely when he spots Tun, a young boy who is able to see and talk with him during every Qingming festival. Mm-hmm. A few years pass, and Tun, now a university student, reveals that Med was killed and promises to identify the reason behind Med's murder and takes Med to live with him. As they solve the issues relating to Med's death, the boys find themselves falling in love with each other, despite the obvious that they must one day apart be.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's truly a wild premise. And okay, one thing that I want to say about this, that like, because let's just get into it. Let's just talk about this. I adored this show, like, sort of from the first time I watched it. And we'll explain this and we'll get into this. But like, basically, I love this show and I have for a while. But I didn't read the synopsis before I watched the show. I was just like, yeah. I like Singto and I like Ohm.
Wasn't it like a recommendation from the Discord? We were like...
Yes, it was a recommendation from the Discord that we're in, Celestial Gear Garden. We will put the link to join the server in the details of this episode. But so it was a recommendation and we needed something to watch. You and I were like together that weekend, like in the same place. Like it's like physically together.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh, let's watch He's Coming to Me. And you had read the synopsis, but I did not read the synopsis.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, here for it. Because I like Singto and I like Ohm. And then literally in like the first 5 minutes, Singto dies. And like, listen, yes, if I had read the premise, I would understand that Singto is a ghost in the show. And like, that's literally the point is Ghost Singto.
Yeah.
But I didn't read the synopsis. And so imagine me going through life, loving Singto like I love Singto. And all of a sudden, he dies on me. Like, truly, it was the world's biggest bombshell. It was
in the most dramatic fashion, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In the words of one of our favorite reactors, Revel, who recently was reacting to a show, he was having a Tian moment. 100%.
100%. Yes. Yeah, this show didn't hit for me the first time. I just didn't love it. Like I didn't think like there was much chemistry. I really loved the side characters in this show.
The side characters are amazing. Obviously, I love.
Yes. So yeah, the first time it didn't hit, here's what I've learned about myself is that if I don't care for a show, because there's no show that I hate, but there's like shows that I'm like, cool, I'll never give it that any more time. If I watch it a second time, I usually pay closer attention and like actually enjoy it more. So this show was that for me, where the first time I was like, this is ridiculous. If I see one more flashback, I swear I'm going to go crazy.
The flashbacks are intense. Yeah.
There's so many.
There's just a lot.
But upon the rewatch, I was like, this is really interesting. It's a really interesting story. It's very creative. You know, we love some culture lessons, and you get a lot of culture in this show, which is really fun because neither one of us have any experience with Buddhism or any of this kind of culture. So it was fun to learn that, which like how appropriate the timing that Singto is currently doing his monkhood. And
no, isn't he out? Didn't he finish after 8 days?
Oh, did he? I don't know.
I believe so. I think he just
haven't kept tabs. But and Ohm is coming out with his show. So like this was very of the moment, which is ironic. But yeah, so I really thought it was interesting the second time around. I mean, like even some little details such as like the color of the ghost was really cool and interesting. The like BL premise of it all is just
listen, I have beef with that too, but here's what I will say. I approached it a little bit differently. So here's the thing. I don't really have any shows that like I hated, like I would never, like I don't really have any shows like that. But when I first watched the show, I'll be honest, I was like, this is so stupid. I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. But even while I was watching it and I was thinking, this is so stupid, I was having fun. Like, it is a fun show to watch. It is.
Very
and
soft.
I was going through it. Like, I cried, I think, twice, okay? And this whole time, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, this is just, like, my thing whatever other show when I was like, this is garbage. But, like, for this one, I was like, this is stupid. But I was, like, fully invested in crying. So, like, the quality of this show and the storytelling, like, is really there. And even with, I mean, truly, I think we counted, and, like, you watched basically the entire show 5 times within the show because of all the flashbacks.
It's so true.
And like there are a lot of flashbacks, but it's like it's fun to watch. And so that being said, the first time I watched it through, I was like, this was stupid, but I had a lot of fun. Like it was really fun for me to watch. But I realized literally the next day. So we binged this whole show in one day, by the way. We watched the whole thing in one day. We may or may not have partaken in a little
but we also
adult
like
beverages.
Fast forwarded through some of the flashbacks because we were like, we get it. They've spent time together. Like,
well, because we binged it, we were like, we just saw this like 2 seconds ago. But so I realized the next day I was still thinking about the show. And then the next week I was still thinking about the show and still thinking about the details and still thinking about Ghost Singto, who lives, and he is so dear to my heart. And so that's when I realized, and I actually went back and rewatched it like not that long after I binged it for the first time. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I enjoyed it the first time around, but the second time around I had like a true like appreciation for it. And I genuinely think this is like a must-see BL. Like, you know, like there's a list of like essential shows that I think everyone should watch. Like for me, He's Coming to Me is on that list.
Yeah, which is interesting. Yeah, the first time around I was like, okay, I don't get it. But yeah, the second time around I realized like they do the scenes that are important really well. Like there's definitely some pacing issues for me, and there's like, okay, we get it, like flashback, cool, like let's do we love a montage. But the first scene that like I think they did really well that I want to talk about was like the coming out scene. with his friends and with his mom. When he talks to his friends, like, it's a very sweet moment of like, they're like, give us time to process. They're not like totally like, woohoo, you're, you know, gay, we love you. But they're like, you don't have to worry about us. Like, this is new information and this is like different. But they handled it in a really like really respectable and just the way that it kind of should have been handled. And then of course, like the mom is like
the mom. She's the best mom of all time. It's so even good. With, honestly, that scene is, even the first time I watched it and I was like, this is so stupid. I was like, this is an amazing scene. But like, it's truly so good.
The fact that in that scene, you find out that the mom and Ned dated. Where you're like,
yeah, I literally wrote in the notes for this series Sunday, I was like, I literally wrote, the Earth's worst grandpa is kind of evened out by the Earth's best mom, right? So like the family situation in this show, which we talk a lot about family and BLs and like the role that they play, is really night and day. Like it is fully like one extreme or the other.
Yeah.
And so you truly have like the Earth's worst grandpa, and then you have like the / uncle, and then you have the Earth's best mom. And so like that's supportive wild.
Because in that whole scene where he's like taking him home before the ceremony, where she's like, I never thought he'd find a partner, and you're like, you didn't, you found a ghost. Like,
here's the thing, my other note is, after that note of like the Earth's worst grandpa evened out by the Earth's best mom, I literally wrote for myself, but also, what kind of Twilight Breaking Dawn shit is this whole my dead boyfriend is now my son's ghost boyfriend? Like, I'm so sorry, but this is fully, like, truly, this is like when Jacob in Twilight is like, you and me, it never made sense before. And this is why. It's because this part of you is like what I was meant to be with. Like, this is truly what's happening here. And, like, I will say that's a bit much for me. Like,
it's weird.
But here's the thing. I had fun watching it, and I had fun thinking, and I have fun now thinking about it and joking about it. Like, that is just like, it's absolutely ridiculous, but I love it, and it's amazing. And to be completely transparent, I unironically love Twilight. So like, this is not a diss. Like, I am not like insulting anyone.
Yeah.
Like there are zero insults anywhere here. Yeah. So, like, yeah, it's just, that plot point is definitely weird to me. And also, like, I do have beef with the whole, like, ghost boyfriend situation. Because...
Okay, let's get into that. But here's the thing. I want to just start by saying that we love tropes. And this show saw the whole I'm only gay for you trope and leveled up. They were like, I'm only gay for a dead ghost. Like, I'm like, because in the show, he says something like, I think he's talking to his friends and they were like, how did you know? Like, whatever. And he was like, it's because of this ghost. And so, like, not only is he like just gay for Singto, he's gay for a ghost. And I just like was like, when that moment happened, I was like, so like, what's gonna happen next? Because now I want
Singto
you to
is a man of the people. Everybody is here for Singto, regardless of like gender orientation, regardless of literally anything. Singto is here for you. Singto is a man of the people. Okay, first of all,
I now want you to go on your rant that you did the other day about like the whole ghost boyfriend.
Yeah. Okay. So I have beef with the ghost boyfriend thing, and yes. It's funny that you mentioned From the Other Day, because that's how often I think about He's Coming to Me.
Yeah.
Like, I do genuinely really like the show, and sometimes I'll make jokes. Like, I think about Ghost Singto once a week, but like, it's not really a ghost. It's not really a joke. It's true.
Yeah.
So, okay, yes, because I do have this rant. I have beef with the whole ghost boyfriend thing because it's unsustainable. Hear me out. Okay.
Listen, because I have questions. Healthier than a lot of these BL relationships, to be honest.
But it's unsustainable. Okay, I have pee off. Come on the podcast, GMMTV, answer my questions. Like, do I need to write a letter? Like, William, like, help me translate these thoughts so that I can get them to GMMTV. I'm going to pay for a billboard outside of GMMTV.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to write my beef out. Okay, hear me out. Okay.
We're going to get those little, what are they called? The like carts that they put the billboards on. We're just going to get like a train of those.
Yeah. And they're just going to drive past the GMM building. What hundo P?
GMMTV, explain yourself.
Explain yourself.
Okay,
okay. My beef with the ghost boyfriend trope, because this is now a trope because there's so many ghost BLs now.
Because Suppanut is going to be doing this like whole ghost boyfriend thing.
And then we had Peach of Time. Like, okay, this is a trope now. So, and we have the Strongberry one, right? Okay, it's trope fully.
Yes.
But the problem with this ghost boyfriend trope, but specifically the way that it's set up in He's Coming to Me, is that, okay, the whole point is to get P-Med to a point where he can reincarnate, right? Like, that is the whole point, and that is like his mission. And you find out all the rules about like why he's stuck in the graveyard and why he can't reincarnate. And like, you know, now that his grave is being taken care of, he should be able to reincarnate, but that means that he has this like other like business. And then with like you were mentioning the like the aura, like the colors of the ghost mean different things. And so, and then we find out that like the reason he can't reincarnate is all of this. And so literally the whole premise of the show is getting P-Med to a point where he can reincarnate. And they do it. They do the thing. They do it. They figure it out. They get the proof. There's like the apology. His family, who is Pyke, who actually is like a pretty good girl character, I will say. Like, she had her moments of like iffiness a couple times, but she's awesome.
Yeah, love her.
Anyways, they do the thing, and he's eligible for reincarnation. Rad.
Yes.
And then he doesn't reincarnate. He stays.
He's like,
and it's after this like emotional, like, I have to let you go, even though at this point P-Med has like started to break into the physical plane because they've like been able to hold hands and kiss, and like he can pick up like cereal boxes and stuff. Like he can, like, he has started to come onto the earthly plane,
right?
Which is why we're doing this for a Halloween episode. And then he doesn't reincarnate, which makes sense for the story because we want him to be with Tun, right? Like, that is the whole, like, they are like meant for each other, supposed to be together. Twilight breaking dawn, destined for each other. Yeah. Okay.
Disbelief. Yes, we do.
So it makes sense for the plot that he would not reincarnate. But here are my questions, because after that, nothing makes sense. Because, okay, if the point of him not reincarnating...
That whole scene after he doesn't reincarnate, it takes a turn.
If the whole point of him not reincarnating is so that he can be with Tun, then does that mean when Tun dies, he reincarnates? And so then will Tun immediately reincarnate so that they can then find each other and be together? Like, are they soup snakes? Like, are they soulmates? Like, is this the point?
Are they what?
All my Office fans understand what I'm saying. You're not in the club. Sorry.
It's been a minute.
So like, are they soulmates? And as soon as Tun dies, does this mean that P-Med reincarnates? Maybe. But does that mean, now that we've learned all the rules about reincarnation, we know that people don't immediately reincarnate, right? So does this mean then that we're stuck in this like eternal loop of like P-Med reincarnates and then he goes and finds like Ghost Tun, and then Tun is the ghost, and then are they stuck in this eternal loop of having ghost boyfriends?
They didn't think through this.
Or, so here's the other option that also makes no sense. We saw before that P-Med was like making his way onto the like physical plane, right? Like, and so does this mean, and it was because of like his love and like the time that he's spending with like, I mean, fair, like, if I were a ghost, I would do everything I could to also touch Ohm Pawat. Like, come on.
Except Ohm has to be, they realize that Ohm has to be the one to initiate everything.
Yes. Anyways.
Which is a weird
So does this mean that the longer that P-Med is like a ghost with Tun, he will eventually just like materialize onto the human plane? Like, will he not only be able to physically touch Tun, will like people be able to see him and he will be like a physical human? So are we breaking the barriers of like physics and spirituality and like metaphysics? Like, are we breaking all of these barriers? Is their love so strong that it literally like reanimates P-Med?
Listen,
not even reanimates, but just like materializes him.
What?
Like, so if so, is he then a zombie who doesn't age, or does he then begin aging? But then that would suggest that he should age immediately. And so then we're in the same ghost boyfriend loop that we were before. I'm just saying, like,
but there is no end game because he died at like 20 something. 21.
Right, that's the question.
So like,
and so it's like, as a ghost, he's forever stuck at that age, and then he then has to watch Tun get old and die, even though he has now materialized into this. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, does he become a zombie? Like, does he become like a vampire, zombie, ghost, human, materialized thing, creature? I don't know. I'm just saying there is no end game here, and the ghost boyfriend trope doesn't work.
Whatever Singto wants, Singto gets. Like, it doesn't have to
because there's no end game.
Sense.
There's no end game outside of the drama. Is the problem?
Right.
It's the problem I have with it.
Yeah. Also, the craziest part is truly the last 2 minutes, because when Singto decides not to reincarnate, well,
he doesn't necessarily decide. He's just like, yeah, 1 minute there was a light and then there wasn't. Like,
yeah. It takes a turn because then it gets spicy and there's this whole like suggestive talk where you're like how P-Med is going to pay to stay in Tun's room, and you're like, y'all,
well, this is why I'm saying, does he like physically materialize?
Well, according to the plan, they're getting spicy back in
because we know that we know that Tun can see him and feel him, like physically feel him. Oh, yeah, but does this mean that P-Med is going to like actually like materialize onto this plane? I just have questions that don't have answers. Like, there is not an answer to this.
This is like a spiritual what was that Ryan Gosling movie where he had like the doll girlfriend?
Her? Nebraska?
Was it called Her?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but yeah, basically it doesn't work. That's my beef. My beef is that this trope doesn't work. It's unsustainable, and I don't know that I'm actually here for it. That being said, I do love ghost characters, especially in this. And so I want to introduce ghost friends.
Yes.
Because these ghost friends I love so much. We've got Gunsmile as Jeng, and like literally there's an episode of this podcast where I start crying over Gunsmile. Like, you can go back and watch it. It is the 3 Will Be Free series Sunday. I literally on camera, on like
he was
audio,
a whole thing in 3 Will Be Free.
I start crying over Gunsmile. Like, actual tears come out of my eyes during recording. So I love Gunsmile. Like, this is how much I love Gunsmile. And he's amazing as Jeng. This character is so good.
He's a solid side character. He maybe has like a total of 5 minutes in the show, but like he's so memorable.
The ghost characters are so good. And so, yes, love Gunsmile, but also my girl Ngoon. Okay, she's amazing. Obviously, she is my Halloween costume today. I love her because she's such a mood. She's like cranky and in a bad mood, but also she's like, oh my God, can you just deal with it and like get over it? Like, she is just a whole mood, and she's like soft for everything that like, she's so soft for Singto, and like same.
Also, the development of Kim being able to see her at the end where you're like,
yes. Kim is now gonna fall in love. I am so when Kim
they're gonna have ghost
Goon
double dates
in the graveyard at the end, dude. My heart like soared into the sunset. A new ship was built for me. Like I am here for this. Like GMMTV, give it to me. Give it to me. I want it. I need it.
So
like
good.
yes.
Also, we love the whole like Korean connection to these Thai dramas. So that whole like she looks like a Korean idol and she's beautiful and
also what's funny is she's like it low-key looks like she's not here for it, which again is like such a mood and I love it.
Because was she the one that was like anti Singto with
right
Ton? Like she was like, you can't do this, like you can't, this is not how physics works, like this
yes
yeah
she's a mood, okay,
yeah.
She understands. Okay, my other two favorite, just like before we talk about his friends, because like they're a big part and we will talk about them. My two favorite little baby side characters, AJ and JJ, are here. Y'all, it's been a hot minute since we talked about a show that had AJ and JJ in it.
Except they were super toxic in the show and not.
Oh, they were the worst. Yeah. They were the worst,
that one scene that they were in where they're like very creepy and gross and you're like, y'all, let's not do this.
They were super creepy and they were like, it was the characters were the worst.
GMMTV constantly trying to confuse us about who's who.
No, it's not GMMTV. This is peak JJJ Behavior. So the reason I love these characters, like they're the worst as characters. Honestly, you might like just fast forward through their scene. It's like
totally
not memorable. You don't need it. The only thing you need to do is watch them actually playing basketball because you will notice one of them is basketballing around wearing a JJ jersey. And you're like, oh, cute. JJ is playing JJ. No, he is not. AJ's character's name is JJ.
Of course
so
it is.
AJ is playing JJ. And truly, this is peak JJJ Behavior because there's an episode of School Rangers where it was Gun had figured out they were wearing different shoes. And so that's what Gun was using. And he was having to do this challenge where he had to hug, I can't remember if it was AJ or JJ, but he had to hug one of them. And they were like, oh, go hug whichever one he was supposed to hug. And he had like Gun, again, in peak Gun behavior, was like, had already figured out that like, ooh, AJ and JJ are wearing different shoes. And so that's how I can tell the difference between them because they're wearing the same outfit.
Right.
He walks up and he hugs the wrong one because the twins had figured out that he had figured out the shoes and then they switched shoes just to mess with him. Like this is peak JJJ Behavior. And I just appreciate that it made it into a drama.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole scene there, that
the worst.
Unnecessary.
It literally was just an excuse for GMMTV to like put AJ and JJ in something, which I feel like GMMTV was doing for a while. They were like, "Ooh, we got some twins." It was like the twins were like they're like hidden card. It was like a thing that they like pulled out. They're like token twin card. And it was like their cool fun thing. They were like, where can we put the twins? Where can we put the AJ and the JJ? So for a hot minute they were in like everything.
Twins have become a trope too. So there's that. Which is
because we got some new twins, our new fave twins in Don't Say No. And then we also get twins in hashtag triggered, I'm so sorry, history 3 make our days count.
Yes. Yeah, let's move on from that. Okay, the other side characters are Kimin as Prince or Chimin as Prince and Gigi as Prey-Fi. Which again, like, Lord have mercy, the Thais love to do this whole like distant relative, this person,
everyone's related. Yes. So Prey-Fi is
named by Singto.
Med's niece. Prey-Fi is Med's niece. And her grandpa is his uncle who murdered him.
Yes.
To her credit, Prey-Fi, who like she loves her grandpa. So the whole time they have spent the show like building up her relationship with her grandpa, that like she loves him and they have this super close relationship and he's so good to her. When she finds out he's a murderer, she fully is like, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And like she fully is just like on board, even though like she has had a crush on Toon and like it should have been a whole thing. She is like, that's my friend's boyfriend who you murdered. And she's not here for it.
Yes. And I also will say, I felt like they handled her crush on Toon and then like the subsequent resolution of that really well. Like that whole moment where they're sitting together and having the conversation about like how he feels and like where they are, I really enjoyed, because then how they introduced Prince as now her love interest was like a sweet moment, and just like that cute little moment
and they
where
set
they like
up
hold
that
hands.
like he's had a crush on her,
and
like that has already been established. And I really do love Prince, and I love Jimin so much.
Same.
I think he's just so fresh,
and
I really like it. And what's really cute is that you get what you want for him and for her, because she just wants a nice boy, right? Like because the whole time when they have her sort of like explain why she has a crush on Toon, she's like, it's basically like, it's because he's such a good friend to me and he always pays attention and he like knows what I like and he knows so much about me that we wouldn't have to work at a relationship. And like, that's kind of her like basis for why she wants to be with him. And you find out at different points. So like at one point when they're all drinking the like green and pink soda, you find out that it's actually Prince that knows all those things about her.
His confession scene is very sweet.
It's really good.
They wrote some good confession scenes in this show, I will say. Like, they're all very sweet and wonderful.
Listen, this show is super soft and funny, and like I definitely want to talk about my favorite funny scene, but it also can get really intense. So this scene where there's like the storm and then P-Med is like spends the night outside and it's like a whole thing and they're fighting. Honestly,
when
truly,
Toon cries,
heartbreaking.
That's beautiful. Like,
oh my God.
Upon rewatch, I was like, Ohm is an excellent crier, and the fact that he like screamed into the void basically was like beautiful. That whole scene, like, quality acting. I'm excited.
Oh my God. And literally, so we joke all the time, like, you could have chemistry with a wall, like you could act with anything. Like, that's what he's doing. But right, like he's alone. It's really powerful and moving. And like, honestly, he is so talented. Ohm Pawat. Oh my desperation.
God. The other scene where he and P-Med are sitting on the roof again, and Toon is like, I want to, like, do you wonder why like a dumb boy wants to become a lawyer? It's to like help you. And like he starts like, there are tears streaming down his face, and you're just like, oh my gosh, come on, Ohm. Like, you're killing it in this. Like,
Ohm kills it. And the fact that this is one of like 3 things we've ever gotten with Ohm, which includes his currently airing show, is a true travesty. And GMMTV, I don't understand why you have been like locking him in the basement. Why are we hiding him? Where has this boy been? We have been robbed for all of these years, as far as I'm concerned.
It's true.
Because here's the thing. He can do that like emotional, like upset, like so well, and it moves you and you cry.
Yeah.
And then he has those scenes where he goes to the mall with P-Med and he sits at a table eating ice cream, talking to himself.
It's so cute.
It's so
like
funny.
It's totally believable that like his friends have the relationship that they do with him, because like he's so affable and like cute that you're like, you're just so silly. Like they at no point are ever like, okay, we shouldn't hang out with this boy anymore. They're just like, he's funny. Like he's crazy.
So like that scene honestly moves me to like laughter tears. So he moves me to sadness, he moves me to joy, all of the emotions in between. Ohm Pawat moves me everywhere, back, front, up, down. Like,
girl,
honestly,
this took a turn. No wonder this took a turn, just like He's Coming to Me took a turn.
No, listen, in terms of emotions, Beth Ann. Oh my God. No.
We know
Like,
why
truly,
Singto didn't reincarnate. Oh,
I
he
was
wants
like,
Ohm to do those things to him.
Beth Ann. I was like in tears at that scene when he's like sitting at the table and there's like girls sitting at a table behind him and you can tell they like think he's cute and like it's set up right that like, oh, he's cute, look at him. And then they like, you realize that they're staring at him because he looks like a complete and utter just like wackadoo because he's sitting at a table eating ice cream by himself just like giggling.
Yeah.
And it is, oh my God, so funny. It is so funny, but it's so sweet. And just the fact that, like, he fully sat there at that table, like, Ohm Pawat, like, had to shoot this scene, right? Like, this, like, it just, God, it's so funny. And it's not just that scene. There are lots of other just, like, so funny scenes. So, like, when pretty much all of the hijinks of when, like, the friends come into his room and P Med is just kind of like lurking lurk Singto is pretty amazing. And I'm here for it.
Yeah. I love the moment where Tun and Kim are sitting and Tun has asked him to get like patient records and he was like, I need those. And he was like, why? And Tun is like, because I'm a private investigator. And then he just like walks off and Kim is like, okay, like, cool. And then
sure, like, seems legit.
And then later on, he's like, that story made no sense, but this one is even more ridiculous. And like, I can't believe you.
And then they're like running through the school in the night. It's just, this show is ridiculous. It's absolute like tropey ridiculousness, but it's so good.
It is. It's true. I definitely came around to it. Again, like I'm the type of person that like if the main couple, listen, I
don't say it. Don't say it out loud. Beth Ann, no one will ever listen to our podcast ever again because of you.
I learned my lesson with Until We Meet Again. There's still some other shows that I just can't rewatch. I will not rewatch because I don't even care to give the lead couple a second chance. So we will leave those to the imagination. But the fun thing about this podcast is it does require you to rewatch shows, and like shows that maybe you wouldn't have given a second chance are given a second chance. And it's like fun to be like, oh, I like missed this the first go round because like I just wasn't into these main actors and like just didn't have any investment or interest.
Oh, and Singto.
Listen, we all have our preferences. Again, like I started with U-Golf and Saint Z.
Singto.
I know. I'm just he doesn't float my boat. I'm so sorry. Listen, I thought it kill me for it. I don't care. Like it's just, and I have watched.
So her address is, and she's at work on.
And I've like watched all his shows. Like I haven't watched Friend Zone, y'all. He's not for me. Not every boy is for every person.
I disagree. Because I think that Singto is a man of the people and he's here for everyone.
Listen, and people could agree with that. Like, listen, you have your own boys that you love. I have my own boys that I love. The great thing about Ayla is that, like, she always comes around to the boys that I love. At first, she's like, no, whatever, I don't get it. And then eventually she always gets it.
Like who? Like who? Name.
You were, like, highly questioning Kim Kopp. Oh, and the other one, fun little cameo appearance in this show. There's a moment where they're at like a night market, and in the background you see Petch having like a full photograph.
Petch does have a cameo in this, and yes, I did come around on Petch. Okay, I'll give you Petch. I will give you Petch.
We love Petch.
Petch is the only one.
I feel like there were some others. I'll have to think of them, and we'll come back to it. But
no.
You were, I mean, when I was trying to get you on board with Kim Kopp via like SB5, you were like, whatever. And then you like saw the light with Kim.
Well, that was your mistake.
It's true. So anyways, okay. Well, this show is worth the watch. It's
So good.
Truly fun. Maybe you can make it a fun game of like eating or drinking something at each flashback and see how much fun you have then.
The flashbacks are truly intense. The tropes are a lot, but it's so good.
It's good. Piaf delivers again. Okay.
That's all I have to say about it. I have lots of other thoughts, but those are my main thoughts.
So many thoughts. Well, thanks again for joining us for Series Sunday. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn the notifications on. We are at Let's Talk BL on all of our socials. And join us again next time. This has been Let's Talk BL.
Happy Halloween!